Hello, how you doing? My name is Chimali. I'm with the Brown Beret organization.
Gracias,
Let me
gracias.
take this out here.
Compartan, compartan, compartan.
Sorry. I came up here. I actually felt a little nervous coming up here to talk. Although I've been giving speeches for the past 30 years, going across the country and speaking about the revolution, talking about, trying to get people motivated to join the organization, to become active in the community. People don't listen to you. I would go to, I went all the way to Chicago, to New York, to New Jersey, and 5, 10 people show up to a rally or to a demonstration. The fact is that a lot of people don't want to listen to this kind of message, right? This is not attractive to people. If you were to give a speech or if let's say you called a rally for some cause, I don't know, just some random cause, and you have all these gringos that are going to show up and all these activists, they all show up to that. But when you say, let's go fight for our raza, well, do we have to? Really? I mean, just look at how many people were at the march today, right? A handful of people, 10 people? Besides the danzantes. How many people showed up? But if you call a march for Palestine, for example, which is it's a good cause. I'm not going to say it's not. It is a good cause. But everybody shows up for that. 100,000 people show up for that. A Chicano gets killed by the cops. He gets riddled with 50 bullets in his body, and nobody gives a fuck about that Chicano getting killed. 5, 10 people show up. It's hard being a revolutionary. See, the Brown Berets, I don't know if you all heard of the Brown Berets before. We've been around since 1967. But a lot of times people don't talk about us. They kind of ignore us. Why? Because we talk about revolution, because we demand justice. We go out there and we fight because we discipline ourselves, because we take a hard stand on things, and people don't want to listen to that. So we have to educate people all the time. People say, what are the Brown Berets? The hair clips, the things that you put on your head. What are the Brown Berets or the Brown Berets? They can't even pronounce our name. They don't even know how to pronounce our name. So we have to educate people all the time. We've been around since 1967. We were contemporaries with the Black Panthers and many other revolutionary organizations like AIM, the Weather Underground, and all of those organizations that were fighting for rights for our people. We're militants. We started fighting a revolutionary war on these streets. People were coming back from the Vietnam War as soldiers trained for battle, and they joined the Brown Berets and they created a revolutionary organization, a Chicano revolutionary organization. They marched on the streets with guns, they battled with the police, they went to war on these streets. They burned down buildings and they killed people, and they did everything that they had to in order to win our rights, so that we can have a Chicano education, so that we can have the rights that we enjoy today. But people want to take the easy route. They don't want to do all that kind of stuff. That's too crazy, it's too militant, it's too wild. Nah, we don't want to do that. Let's fight peacefully, let's hold hands, let's sing Kumbaya, they want to do all the easy stuff because it's low-hanging fruit. You know what it is? It's called performative activism. You know what a low-hanging fruit is, right? It's a tree, there's fruit that's hanging on it, and you just reach for the first ones that are right there. They're not the sweetest fruit, but they're the ones that are right there. They're easy to get. So people get that. So they will go to those other marches, but they will never support a Chicano revolutionary cause. They will not come out to things like this. They will not come out to the Chicano moratorium and to other Chicano events that are being done throughout the entire year. But they will show up to boycott Starbucks because that's really easy to do, right? They will show up to support a cause halfway around the world because it doesn't affect them directly. They don't actually have to give up anything. They don't actually have to fight for anything. They just go to a fucking march and they think that they're revolutionaries now. I'm sorry, but that's not being a revolutionary. Going to a fucking march or going to an event and holding a little poster and saying, Obama, escucha, estamos en la lucha. I'm sorry, but that's not being a revolutionary. You know what it is, being a revolutionary? Is taking the power back. That's what it means to be a revolutionary. To fight for your people, to be willing to kill for your people, to be willing to die for your people. To live every fucking day. When you wake up and when you go to sleep, you are thinking about how can I bring power to my people.
Yeah.
You will discipline yourselves. You will train yourself to fight. And you will go out there and defend your people. You will find ways to empower them. Build yourselves up a business. Hire more raza. Do things in your community that are going to build people up. You all saw what the Black Panthers did. I'm pretty sure you all heard of the Black Panthers. You haven't heard of the Brown Berets, but you've heard of the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers would go into their communities and clean up their communities. The Brown Berets did the same exact thing. You know, I've heard all the stories from the veteranos. I've been a Brown Beret since 1992. And I talked to all the veteranos. They would tell me stories of them going into parks with shotguns and kicking out the drug dealers, kicking out the pimps, putting shotguns to their heads and saying, you're going to get out of our community. You are never coming back. Get the fuck out of here. If a man was a rapist or a child molester, they would kick him out. They would force him out of the community. But nowadays we celebrate drug use. We celebrate abuse. We allow it in our communities. And it shouldn't be that way. But yeah, that's what the Brown Berets did. Brown Berets shot down a police helicopter. Did you all hear about that one? Yeah, it happened. Back in the 1960s. There's a lot of things the Brown Berets did, but nobody hears about. Because nobody wants to talk about those things. Now, I speak a little angry sometimes because it's frustrating. Like I said, it's tough being a revolutionary. No one wants to listen to you. No one wants to believe you. People think you're crazy. And you know what? It is kind of crazy to get up in here being wearing a uniform in 100-degree heat. It is crazy to think that you can make a change. It is crazy to think that you can empower your people. It is crazy to continue fighting when nobody wants you to fight for them. But you know what? If we don't fight for our people, then who will? Who will? Are we going to ask the cops to defend us? Are we going to ask the Palestinians to come all the way from Palestine and stop fighting their fight? No, they're fighting their struggle. We have to fight our own fight. This is our backyard. This is our land. We have to fight for us.
Yeah.
We have to empower us. We have to build ourselves up and become a mighty force against this regime, against this system, and bring it down. You know, the past 30 years that I've been doing this, I've gone through a lot of shit. I've wanted to quit so many times. And it's not from the system. You know, a lot of times they don't give a shit about us. They're like, man, those chicanos, they ain't gonna do nothing, right? It's our own raza sometimes that we have the biggest problems with. When we start attacking each other, we start putting each other down. Somebody tries to grow and become a leader in the movement. Fuck you, sit down. We don't want to listen to them. We think that we don't have to listen to anybody. We're too proud, we're too arrogant. And so I've gone through a lot of stuff in this movement, and I thought about leaving many, many times. I could leave. I can go to my rancho. I have a rancho. I can go. I can retire. I can live a really happy life by myself and not worry about anybody. But why am I still here? Why are all of you here? Because you believe in something.
Yeah.
And belief is more important.
Yeah.
Right? When you believe in something, it'll get you through it. You'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. You'll say, you know what? I believe that if I continue going, there will be a solution at the end of this. So here we are. Here we are asking all of you to take this serious. to put your entire hearts into this. That everything that you do from here on out is for the empowerment of our people. Stop bullshitting. Stop being performative. Be real about your activism, your organizing in the community. If you are a revolutionary, be about it. We don't need any more cosplayers. We don't need any more social clubs. We need real revolutionaries. Thank you.
Yeah.